Welcome, dear listener. Tonight, we are here for you. This space is made to bring you calmness, comfort, and gentle clarity. Let the weight of the day drift away. Let your breathing slow. Together, we'll wander through timeless mysteries, softly, carefully, so that you can rest deeply, peacefully, and without interruption. This is not a lecture, not noise, but a quiet stream of thought, a voice beside you in the dark. We are here to make you comfortable, to give you peace, so you can finally sleep. Before there was sound, before there was light, there was only stillness. Imagine it for a moment, a canvas stretched so wide that it had no beginning and no end. A vastness without color, without texture, without a single ripple to disturb its calm. It is difficult for the human mind to picture such an absence, because we are creatures of sensation. Every second of our lives is filled with something, a sound, a sight, a thought, a feeling. And yet, there was once a state where none of these existed. Only silence. Only calm. This silence was not empty, though it seemed so. It was the cradle of everything to come, the still pond before the first stone is dropped, the stage before the curtain rises. In that stillness, the universe was waiting, gathering itself in quiet patience, as though even eternity needed to take a breath before beginning its song. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine that silence, a silence so deep that it becomes almost a presence itself, wrapping around you like a blanket. There is no rush here, no deadlines, no echoes of voices, no tug of unfinished tasks, just a slow, quiet hum. The hum of nothingness that feels like peace. Now, picture this silence, stretching outward. It does not stop at the walls of your room, or the edges of your street, or the horizon of your city. It extends further, past the mountains, past the oceans, past the spinning planet itself. It goes beyond the moon, beyond the planets, beyond the furthest star you can imagine. It goes until there is no more boundary, no more edge, only stillness reaching forever. That silence is where everything began. And yet, within that silence, something subtle stirred, like the faintest tremor of air before a whisper, like the tiniest vibration before a song. There was a motion too delicate to name. Out of that stillness came the first ripple, not sound, not light, not even time as we know it, but the seed of existence itself. That ripple grew, like the first breath taken after a long pause. And with that breath, the universe began. It exhaled stars, it scattered galaxies, it laid the foundation for everything that ever was and ever will be. And yet, even in its expansion, the silence remained. Between every star, between every atom, there was still that quiet presence. Think of your own breath now. Inhale deeply, hold it, and then exhale. In that pause between inhale and exhale, you taste a fragment of that original stillness. You experience, in your own small way, the silence before sound. The same silence that existed at the dawn of everything is alive in you tonight. As you drift, you might begin to feel that silence calling to you, not as an emptiness, but as a gentle reassurance. It tells you that nothing is demanded of you. Right now, the world will wait, the stars will continue their paths. You are allowed in this moment to surrender to calm. You are safe, you are held, and you are part of the quiet between the stars. In that vast, perfect silence, there came a trembling. It was not loud, it was not sharp. It was softer than a sigh, lighter than the touch of dust. Yet it was the first break in endless stillness. From that trembling came a vibration, the foundation of sound. You can imagine it the way a pebble strikes the surface of water. One ring appears, then another, each one spreading farther than the last. But here, in this ancient silence, there was no water. There was only emptiness. And yet, even emptiness can be stirred. That first ripple did not disturb the peace. It deepened it. For in moving, in trembling, the silence learned how to carry song. Soon, what was once stillness began to unfold into rhythm. The heartbeat of a universe that was only beginning to wake. Think of lying in bed at night, listening for the faintest sounds. Perhaps it is the creak of wood as the house settles. Perhaps it is the distant hum of the world outside. These sounds do not startle you. They comfort you because they remind you that you are not alone, that the world continues quietly around you. The ripple of the early universe was like this. It was not an explosion, though later it would grow into one. It was not chaos, though later it would scatter into stars. It was a rhythm, a pulse, a breath, and like all breaths, it carried with it a promise of continuation. You, too, carry such ripples. Every beat of your heart is a ripple in silence. Every slow exhale is a wave extending outward. If you close your eyes now and focus on your breathing, you can feel yourself as part of that same ancient pattern. Ripples in stillness, movements in calm. The ripple stretched. It moved outward, and outward, and outward still. It touched what had no edge, filling what had no form. And everywhere it touched, it left behind the possibility of something new. It was the seed of stars, the blueprint of galaxies, the murmur of time. But most of all, it was a reminder that silence does not end when movement begins. They exist together. The ripple does not erase the stillness. It reveals it, frames it, and gives it voice. Tonight, as you rest, you are carried by those ripples. They pass through you gently, rocking you like waves upon a quiet shore. The silence remains, but now it carries the promise of dreams. The ripple spread outward, and with it came the first glimmer. It was faint at first, so faint that it could barely be called light. Imagine the thinnest thread of brightness weaving itself across a black canvas. Imagine a glow that has no source, yet exists, soft and unwavering, like the memory of a lantern, long extinguished but still warm in thought. That was the first light. It did not rush. It did not blaze. It simply appeared, delicate and fragile, like the spark of fireflies hovering in a summer field. Against the endless dark, it seemed small, yet smallness did not matter because it was the first. The first light is always enough because it tells the silence that it will not last forever. It tells the void that it can be transformed. The void embraced it. Darkness did not fight light. Instead, it gave it room. Imagine an infinite stage, empty for eons, and at last, a single actor steps forward. The darkness welcomed the performance. It curved itself around the light, framing it, highlighting it, making it shine brighter than it would have alone. And then, more lights followed. Not all at once, not with a shout, but with patience. One here, one there, until the silence was dotted with lanterns. Each point was a promise, a star, a future, a sun that would one day warm planets, one day cradle life. This first awakening was not violent. It was tender. The universe stretched like a child waking from sleep, its eyes opening slowly, carefully, not yet ready for the full brilliance of day. The light did not rush to banish the dark, for the dark had been its home. Instead, they lived together, hand in hand, painting the first contrast, the first harmony. And here, as you lie in your own darkness, perhaps you notice the way shadows and light mingle in your room. The way a soft lamp or the faint glow of the moon outside filters through the window. It is not overwhelming. It is kind, gentle, the kind of light that soothes the mind and eases it into rest. This is the kind of light that was born in the void. Not harsh, not demanding, but nurturing. It gave the silence a rhythm. It gave emptiness a shape. It gave you, eventually, the chance to exist, to dream, to breathe in this moment now. As you listen, You can picture it. A sky without stars suddenly touched by one point of light, then another, until the black is sprinkled with hope. The silence remains, but now it glows. Imagine a breath so vast that it pulls everything inward, gathering it all close, holding it within invisible lungs. That was the universe's first inhale. The silence, once endless, began to fold in upon itself. The ripples, once spreading outward, curled and curved as though they were being drawn into a center. In this inhale, the universe did not collapse. It gathered. Like a mother pulling her children close, like the sea reclaiming its waves, it embraced all the scattered sparks and brought them nearer. Galaxies that did not yet have names drifted together, drawn by a force deeper than gravity. This was the inhale before the exhale, the pause before release. It was patient, unhurried, eternal in its timing. You know this feeling too. Each time you breathe in deeply, your body gathers itself, your lungs expand, your chest rises, your heart waits for the moment to let go. That pause, that instant of fullness, is what the universe once held. And in that fullness, in that great inhale, there was calm. No rush, no panic, only stillness in the gathering. The stars leaned toward one another. The light bent, curved, swirled, as though everything wanted to be closer, warmer, more connected. As you breathe in now, feel yourself as part of that same rhythm. Your inhale is the inhale of galaxies. Your exhale will be their release. You are not separate from this ancient dance. You are woven into it, strand by strand, breath by breath. Then came the beat. Slow, steady, timeless. The universe pulsed, as though a heart had begun to beat at its center. The silence did not vanish. It was the space between beats. The light did not vanish. It was the glow carried with each throb of rhythm. Together, they formed the first heartbeat of creation, steady, grounding, unshakable. Imagine lying in bed, head pressed to a pillow, and hearing your own heartbeat. It is not loud, but it is constant, a companion you cannot see but always trust. Now, expand that rhythm outward until it is not your heart, but the pulse of stars, the throb of galaxies, the inhale and exhale of the cosmos itself. That was the heartbeat of the universe. Slow, patient, eternal. Each beat sent waves through the silence, not to disturb it, but to enrich it. Each throb whispered, "You are here. You exist. You will continue." And with each beat, the universe stretched a little farther. Space unfurled. Time ticked its first seconds. And the silence smiled, because now it had a rhythm to keep it company. From that heartbeat came whispers. Expansion began, soft at first, like a tide moving across sand. The silence stretched, carrying galaxies like lanterns drifting on an ocean. The whispers were not words, but patterns, the hum of particles, dancing apart, the sigh of light rushing outward. You might imagine it like wind through trees, soft, constant, never shouting, but filling the air with movement. That was the whisper of expansion, the sigh of the universe as it stretched into being. And you are hearing echoes of it even now. The faint static of radios, the glow between stations on a television screen, the background noise of existence. All of these are remnants of that ancient whisper. The silence carries them still. Not as noise, but as memory. You rest within that same expansion. The bed beneath you, the room around you, the air you breathe, all are riding the outward flow of that first breath. You are part of the whispers, and they cradle you like a lullaby that has lasted billions of years. Expansion continued, and with it came the birth of time. Time was not a loud arrival. It was not a clock striking or a bell chiming. It was more like silk unraveling, a thread pulled slowly from an infinite spool. In the silence, time slipped forward gently, without resistance, without hurry. Each moment followed the last, but there was no rush, no schedule, no deadline. It was simply a flow, like water dripping from a leaf, steady, patient, unending dot. Imagine holding a length of fabric in your hands, so delicate that it slides through your fingers like water. That was how time began, smooth, effortless, without weight. The stars floated upon it, galaxies drifted along its current, and silence wrapped it all like a cloak dot. This is the same time you feel tonight, though we humans often burden it with names, minutes, hours, days. But time itself does not care for such labels. It is just a river, and you are lying upon its surface, carried without effort. As you listen, as you breathe, you drift with that river. There is nothing you must do, nowhere you must go. The river carries you all the same dot, and in that flow, the silence deepened. Because time was not a disruption of stillness, it was its companion. Silence became the background, and time became the melody. A duet older than memory, dot as you surrender. To sleep, feel time unraveling softly like silk sliding between your thoughts. There is no rush to reach tomorrow. There is only the ease of drifting, the certainty that time will hold you, carry you, and guide you toward the dreams waiting ahead. Dot with light came shadows. They stretched across the silence, not as enemies, but as companions. Every star that awakened cast a darkness, and in that darkness was beauty. Shadows do not exist without light, and light is gentler when framed by shadow. Together, they created depth, form, contrast, the first balance. The stars glowed brighter because the shadows reminded the universe of their presence. You have known this too. The soft glow of a candle seems warmer in a dark room than in a bright one. The moon seems gentler when surrounded by the night. Shadows cradle the light, holding it steady, protecting its quiet brilliance. And so the newborn stars, scattered like sparks across infinity, cast shadows that danced and swayed. These shadows were not frightening. They were cool, soothing, like shade on a summer afternoon, like the calm that follows after a long day. Imagine those shadows drifting now, wrapping themselves around you, not to hide you, not to close you in, but to comfort you, to remind you that even in the dark, you are never without light, to remind you that silence holds both shadow and glow, and together they bring peace. Then came gravity, not as a crash, not as a forceful shove, but as a quiet pull. It was the hand that gathered drifting stars, the whisper that told matter to come closer, the embrace that kept galaxies from scattering into nothingness. Gravity was not harsh. It was gentle, like the tide pulling waves to shore, like the earth holding you close as you lie here. Without it, silence would have remained scattered, aimless. With it, silence found form, a structure, a harmony. You can feel gravity even now. It is the weight that presses you softly into your bed. It is the comfort that keeps you grounded, safe, steady. It tells you that you will not drift away, that you are held. Galaxies spiraled because of gravity. Stars clustered. Planets would, one day, circle suns. All of it began with this gentle pull, this quiet insistence that togetherness was better than solitude. As you rest, imagine gravity as a lullaby, pulling you closer to calm. It is not forceful. It does not demand. It only whispers, stay, rest. You are safe here. As the universe stretched, there came a realization. There was no border, no wall at the end of space, no ceiling above the stars, no floor below the galaxies. It was endless, a sky without edges, an ocean without shore. This edgelessness was not frightening. It was freeing. Imagine walking across a meadow that extends forever. No fences, no gates, no boundaries. Imagine looking into a horizon that never ends. That was the universe's truth. Infinity wrapped in silence. For us, who live in rooms, cities, and nations, boundaries are familiar. But tonight, as you drift, let your thoughts step outside those walls. Let them float beyond the ceiling, beyond the sky, beyond even the furthest stars you can imagine. Out there are no edges. There is only stillness, endless and open. And in that openness, you are not lost. You are home. You are a part of the infinite fabric, a thread in the endless sky. Nothing confines you, nothing restrains you. You are allowed to expand like the stars themselves, carried by the quiet flow of space. In silence, even the smallest sound becomes a message. In the early universe, the tremors of creation spoke a language older than words. They were not letters, not syllables, but vibrations, ripples through time, whispers across the fabric of space. Each vibration said something simple. You are here. Each ripple carried a truth. You will continue. This was the language of beginnings. It did not need translation. The silence understood it. The newborn stars understood it. And if you listen closely, you can feel it in yourself as well. Your heartbeat, your breathing, the rhythm of your body. They are all echoes of that same ancient speech. It is not a language of commands, not one of rules. It is a language of reassurance, of comfort. It says, existence is enough. You do not need to strive in this moment. You only need to be. As you drift into rest, let this language flow through you. It is not spoken, it is felt. A quiet hum, a steady rhythm, a lullaby written in vibrations. You understand it, even if you have never heard it. For you were born from it, carried in its message, part of its unfolding story. Perhaps the greatest gift of the early universe was not its light or its stars, but its silence. That silence was not empty. It was nurturing, protective, like the hush that falls over a nursery at night. It was a silence that cradled, that soothed, that promised. Rest. Think of how even now silence carries you. When the world is loud, when voices and demands press against your mind, silence becomes a refuge. In silence, you find yourself again. In silence, you find peace. The cosmos knew this too. Between the bursts of creation, between the ripples of time, there were vast spaces of calm. They stretched farther than any sound could reach, deeper than any light could pierce. They were the universe's way of singing a lullaby, not with noise, but with quiet. Tonight, as you listen, you are wrapped in that same lullaby. The silence around you is not absence, it is presence. It is the universe's way of holding you close, reminding you that you are part of something endless, something calm, something safe. Creation was not planned, not scripted. It was a dream, the universe imagining itself into being. Like a sleeper weaving visions in the dark, space began to form patterns, shapes, stories. Stars were born, galaxies swirled, time unfolded, all as part of a great cosmic dream. You, too, are part of that dream. Your life, your thoughts, your quiet presence here, all of it is woven into the universe's imagination. Just as you drift into dreams each night, the cosmos once drifted into galaxies. Just as your mind creates worlds behind closed eyes, the universe created worlds behind the veil of silence. And in both dreams, there is peace. There is no need for control, no need for force. Dreams flow as they wish. They unfold without resistance. As you sink deeper into rest, imagine yourself not as separate from the dream, but as a dreamer within it. The stars above you, the silence. Around you, the breath within you. All of it is the universe continuing to dream, and you are safe within that dream, carried gently towards sleep. There came a moment when the scattered light met matter, when photons touched atoms, when energy embraced substance. It was like a greeting, the first handshake of existence, the first embrace of creation. This meeting was not violent. It was tender, like two old friends recognizing each other after ages apart. Light illuminated matter, and matter gave light a place to shine. Together, they created the first dance of energy and form. You can imagine it as a ballroom, where countless particles spun and twirled under the soft glow of lanterns. Each step was graceful, each turn was gentle. The silence was not broken. It was filled with rhythm, a music so quiet it could only be felt, not heard. From this meeting came everything you know. Stars burning, planets forming, oceans flowing, trees growing, hearts beating. All of it began with starlight touching the first atom. And tonight, as that same starlight travels across billions of years to touch your eyes, remember, you are part of that embrace. You are light meeting matter, energy meeting form, silence meeting rhythm. Every great movement has pauses. Every melody has rests. Every heartbeat is divided by silence. The early universe knew this truth. Between its bursts of light and its ripples of energy, there were long, soft spaces of stillness. These pauses were not empty. They were gentle intervals, like the hush between waves rolling on the shore, like the calm between breaths. Without them, the cosmos would have been overwhelming, too loud, too constant. With them, it became a lullaby. Tonight, your own body mirrors this same rhythm. Between each inhale and exhale, there is a pause. Between each heartbeat, there is a gap. These quiet moments are not mistakes, they are gifts. They give space for calm, for renewal, for peace. Close your eyes and notice the pause at the end of your breath. Feel the stillness resting there. That is the same stillness that once stretched across galaxies, the same calm that gave the universe its balance. You are, in this moment, part of the quiet in between. Imagine an ocean with no wind, no current, no disturbance. Its surface is flat, polished like glass, reflecting the stars above without a ripple. That was the ocean of space before matter stirred it, before galaxies formed, before time's current began to flow faster. This ocean was vast, deeper than anything we can measure, larger than anything we can name. And yet it was calm, endlessly calm. No storms disturbed it, no ships crossed it, no tides rose or fell. It was silence given the form of water. You can see a fragment of it even now. When you close your eyes, when your thoughts still, when your mind lets go, you float on that ocean. It holds you effortlessly, needing no movement, no struggle. The sea without waves is not far away. It lives in you, in the calm between thoughts, in the peace between worries. You drift on it tonight, carried gently toward dreams. Beyond the stars, there are oceans darker than night. They do not sparkle, they do not shimmer. They are black waters, infinite and still, drifting through eternity. These waters are not threatening. They are protective. Like velvet curtains, they wrap the universe, cradling its stars, hiding its secrets in their folds. They are the deep sleep of space, where light rests and sound is hushed. When you imagine these black waters, do not fear them. Picture them instead as a soft cocoon, carrying galaxies like lanterns floating on a dark tide. Picture yourself resting on their surface, weightless, effortless, safe. For just as the stars are cradled by these waters, you too are held tonight. You float, you drift, you rest in black waters that will never let you fall. Out of the black, waters rose colors, vast, luminous clouds of dust and gas, glowing softly like underwater reefs. Nebulas, the nurseries of stars, were like gardens growing in silence. Each one shimmered with hues of violet, blue, gold, and crimson. They were alive, though not as we know life. They breathed light. They blossomed with suns. They stretched like coral branches, delicate yet immense, fragile yet eternal. Imagine drifting through such a reef, slow and calm. The silence is not broken. It is deepened by beauty. You are surrounded by colors that pulse gently, like the slow rhythm of your heartbeat, like the rise and fall of your breath. The universe painted these reefs for no one to see, and yet they existed, glowing, in the dark, waiting patiently. They remind you tonight that beauty does not need to be witnessed to matter. It simply is. And so are you. Within these oceans of silence, worlds began to form. Planets spun slowly in their orbits, round and quiet, like islands scattered across a limitless sea. Some were barren, some fiery, some frozen. Yet all of them shared a stillness, a patience. They circled their suns without hurry, without resistance, tracing paths they would follow for billions of years. Picture one of these islands, now. A sphere of rock drifting through space, untouched, unbothered, silent. No footsteps mark its surface. No noise stirs its air. It simply exists, turning gently, a small world wrapped in quiet. You too are like such a world tonight, alone, yet not lonely, quiet, yet full of potential, resting in the silence, drifting through the dark, waiting for nothing more than the peace of simply being. If planets were islands in the cosmic sea, then moons were lanterns hanging above them. They did not burn with their own fire. They borrowed light, catching the glow of distant suns and reflecting it softly into the darkness. Imagine a quiet ocean at night. The moon hangs above, pouring silver across the water, not harshly, but gently, enough to guide your eyes without straining them. That was how moons entered the universe, as mirrors, as companions, as silent watchers. Some circled their planets endlessly, dancing in orbits that would never end. Some drifted farther, pulled by invisible tides. Yet all of them shared one truth. They reflected light. They reminded the silence that even what does not burn can still shine. And you too are like those moons tonight. You may not always feel as though you blaze like a star, but you reflect light from those who love you, from the beauty around you, from the universe itself. You shine, softly, quietly, without effort. In the oceans of silence, dust was everywhere, tiny, unseen, scattered across the void. And yet, this dust was not meaningless. It was the seed of stars, the beginning of worlds. Imagine plankton drifting in an endless sea, small, fragile, yet carrying the promise of all life to come. That was cosmic dust. Invisible specks that together would gather into suns, into planets, into everything you have ever known. Tonight, you might feel like dust yourself. Small against the enormity of the universe, fragile against the weight of time. But remember this, dust is not nothing. Dust is potential. Dust is the first step toward everything. And in silence, dust drifts patiently, waiting for the moment when it will become something greater. There are currents you cannot see, rivers of gravity that weave through the cosmos. They are made of dark matter, invisible, undetectable, yet everywhere. Without them, galaxies would scatter. With them, galaxies hold together, spinning in harmony. These currents are like deep ocean flows. You cannot touch them, but they carry you all the same. They guide stars, they cradle worlds, they shape the very skeleton of the universe. Tonight, as you rest, you too are carried by unseen currents. Forces you cannot name hold you steady, guide you gently, keep you in place. You do not need to understand them. You only need to trust them. The currents of silence will not let you drift away. Where there are currents, there are tides. Waves of motion, slow and steady, moving galaxies like ships upon the sea. These tides were not violent. They did not crash. They swayed. They rocked. They soothed. Imagine lying in a boat, drifting upon water that rises and falls with perfect rhythm. That is how the universe once moved. Stars rocked in their orbits. Planets swayed in their paths. Moons drifted in gentle arcs. Gravity's tides carried everything without effort, without end. They still carry you now. Your body, Resting where it is part of that tide. You move with the earth moves with the sun moves with the galaxy, all of it swaying to a rhythm as old as silence. And tonight, you float upon that tide. No struggle, no resistance, just rest. If you could look upon the universe from above, you might see its galaxies as great whales, moving slow through the dark. Their bodies are vast, their paths eternal, their pace unhurried. They drift with the tides of gravity, singing songs too low for us to hear. These whales of stars do not rush. They move at the pace of eternity, each one a gentle giant gliding across black waters. Their silence is not empty. It is full of presence, of dignity, of calm. As you rest, imagine lying upon the back of such a whale, feeling its slow, steady motion beneath you. No danger, no fear, only the endless rocking of a being that has known the silence longer than time itself. That is the calm of galaxies, immense, patient, eternal. In the wide sea of silence, not everything endured. Some stars collapsed, some worlds shattered, some galaxies tore themselves apart in slow, patient spirals. These were not tragedies. They were transformations, cosmic shipwrecks, adrift in eternity, breaking not into nothing, but into new beginnings. Imagine an ancient vessel sinking beneath the ocean waves. Its timbers do not vanish. They scatter, they drift, they become part of the sea's floor, feeding coral, sheltering fish, woven into new lives. So too did the wreckage of suns and planets scatter into dust, feeding the next stars, shaping the next worlds. Even in silence, endings are never final. They are pauses, turning points, breaths between chapters. You too have known shipwrecks, moments when something ended, when silence seemed heavy, when the future felt uncertain. But here you are, carried forward, still afloat, proof that every wreck is also a beginning. There are planets in the dark that hold oceans locked in ice. Their seas are silent, frozen for ages, unmoving. Yet beneath the ice, water waits. Beneath the stillness, there is life's possibility, hidden in patient. These frozen seas do not rage. They rest, they preserve, they keep their secrets for the right moment. You may feel frozen too, at times, your energy slowed, your dreams waiting. But silence teaches us that waiting is not failure. Waiting is strength. Beneath your own stillness lies warmth, life, possibility, and in the quiet of tonight, you are allowed to rest, knowing that not all things need to move at once. The farther you drift from light, the deeper the quiet becomes. There comes a point where echoes cannot reach, where sound itself dissolves into nothing. This is not emptiness, it is sanctuary. Imagine standing at the edge of a canyon, where your voice returns to you again and again, bouncing between stone walls. Now imagine walking farther, until the canyon widens, until the echoes fade, until only silence remains. That silence is not lonely. It is whole. It is peace. The cosmos holds such places, regions so vast, so empty, that even light takes billions of years to cross them. These voids are not dead. They are resting places, pauses in the universe's song. And tonight, you drift into such a place. A quiet where echoes cannot follow you, where worries cannot linger, where thoughts dissolve. Into stillness, you are free here. You are whole. The universe's seas have no beaches, no land to stop them. They stretch forever, without beginning or end. They are oceans without shores, waters that never meet a boundary. To us, used to edges, this is difficult to imagine. But it is not frightening, it is liberating. There is no wall to crash against, no end to fear, only the endless comfort of drifting, without interruption, without limit. As you rest, imagine yourself floating on such a sea. You do not search for land, You do not look for a destination. You simply float, carried by the waters of silence. There is no end, but there is no need for one. The sea itself is enough. Across the galaxy, there are planets glowing faintly in the dark. Some shine with the reflected light of their stars. Others glow faintly blue, their atmospheres scattering color like Earth's sky. They hang in silence, distant lanterns of possibility. Perhaps one of them carries oceans. Perhaps one of them carries forests. Perhaps one of them carries silence so deep it has never been broken. These blue worlds remind us that silence is not empty. It holds promise. It holds beauty. Even from across billions of miles, they glow softly, quietly, patiently. As you close your eyes, imagine drifting toward one of these worlds. Its glow is gentle, like a nightlight left burning in the corner of a room. You are safe. You are guided. You are carried toward peace. At last, the universe became an ocean of light. Stars shimmered like waves. Galaxies rippled like tides. And beneath those starlight waves, silence still reigned. Imagine lying beneath water, watching sunlight ripple across the surface. It is distorted, softened, but still beautiful. That is how the stars look from the quiet of space. Waves of light moving slowly, endlessly, over the dark. Tonight, you are beneath those waves. They wash over you, not harshly, not heavily, but like a lullaby. Each ripple of starlight is a whisper telling you to rest, to let go, to sink deeper into peace. You are safe beneath these waves. You are carried. You are held. You are part of the silence between stars. Not every star burns forever. Some grow weary. Some slow their blazing fire, shrinking into smaller, gentler lights. And some drift into silence, no longer shining but still existing, resting quietly in the dark. These resting stars are not failures. They are part of the rhythm. Just as a candle eventually flickers low, just as every heartbeat is followed by a pause, stars too must rest. Their silence is not an end. It is peace. Imagine such a star now. Once it roared with heat, lit skies, cradled planets. Now it glows softly, faintly, content with what it has given. Around it stretches the vast quiet of space, holding it in. Stillness. You, too, deserve this rest. You do not need to burn endlessly. You do not need to shine for others every moment. Like the stars, you are allowed to pause, to dim, to settle into calm. Silence will hold you, and peace will remain. Every flame has a final glow, a moment where it trembles, where it lingers, where it gives one last gift of brightness before sinking into the dark. Stars too have such moments. The last flicker is not sorrowful, it is beautiful. It is the closing note of a song, the final word of a poem, the sigh at the end of a long day. It is a reminder that even endings have grace. Picture a star trembling with that last flicker. Its glow is soft, golden, tender. It does not rage, it does not fight. It simply bows to silence, leaving behind warmth, memory, beauty. And so too can your own days end. Not with struggle, not with fear, but with quiet surrender, knowing that rest follows, and rest is good. After the last flicker, a star is not gone. Embers remain, faint, glowing, pulsing softly in the dark. These embers do not blaze, but they comfort. They remind the universe that even in silence, warmth lingers. Imagine embers in a fire pit, glowing long after the flames have died. They radiate calm, not urgency. They invite you to sit close, to watch, to breathe. That is what stars become when they surrender to silence. Embers that glow gently in eternity. You, too, carry embers. They are the quiet strength within you, the warmth that remains when everything else has faded. Tonight, let those embers glow. You do not need to be fire. You only need to be dot. There are places in the cosmos where collapsed stars gather, like houses on a quiet street. Black holes, neutron stars, white dwarfs, each a remnant of something once vast, now folded into silence. This street is not bleak, it is peaceful. Each collapsed star rests in its own place, like neighbors who no longer shout across fences, who sit quietly in their own homes, content. Walking down this street would not bring fear, it would bring stillness. The silence would be profound, deep, unbroken, and within it, you would feel safe. For these stars are no longer wild, they have surrendered, and in their surrender, they have become calm. Before silence, there is sometimes a burst. A star collapsing into quiet often sings one last song, a supernova, an explosion so vast it can outshine entire galaxies. And then, when its echo fades, silence settles in. This echo does not linger forever. It fades gently, slowly, until only memory remains. But the silence that follows is not empty, it is full, carrying the weight of what once was. Tonight, think of your own echoes. The noise of the day, the chatter of thoughts, the residue of worries, they too will fade, softly, gently, leaving silence in their wake. And that silence, when it comes, will not be empty. It will be full of peace. After the fire of stars, after the bursts and echoes, what remains is dust. Tiny particles scattered across the universe, glowing faintly as they catch the light of nearby suns. Each speck is a lantern, small but steady, floating in the silence. The universe is filled with these lanterns. They gather in clouds, stretch in rivers, form halos around galaxies. They drift slowly, patiently, never rushing, never demanding. They are the quiet survivors, carrying within them the promise of tomorrow's stars. Think of fireflies on a summer night, glowing gently in the dark. That is how cosmic dust moves, glowing, fading, glowing again, in rhythms as old as time. And you, lying here tonight, are surrounded by such lanterns. Their light crosses billions of years to touch you softly, like a whisper across eternity. Every sun has its season. Some burn hot and fast, some linger for billions of years, but all eventually fade. When they do not vanish at once. They leave behind warmth, memory, traces of their brilliance. Imagine the end of a long day, when the sun slips below the horizon. Its light softens, its heat cools, its fire becomes memory. You do not mourn it, you rest in its absence, knowing it will rise again in another form. So it is with the stars. Their fading is not loss, it is transformation. They live on in the dust they scatter, in the worlds they warmed, in the echoes of their light still crossing space. Tonight, as you rest, let the suns of your own past fade into memory. Their warmth remains within you, even as silence takes their place. There are stars that shrink into white dwarfs, small, dense, glowing remnants of once mighty suns. They shine quietly, faintly, as though whispering instead of shouting. They do not command attention, they do not rage, they simply exist, alone in the dark. But their loneliness is not sorrow, it is dignity. They are survivors, carrying on their glow long after their fire should have ended. They are proof that even in smallness, even in quiet, there is beauty. You may feel like a white dwarf at times, quieter, smaller, less seen than before. But in truth, you are shining still, steady and patient. You do not need to be grand to be beautiful. Your quiet presence is enough. Far in the future, white dwarfs will cool completely, becoming black dwarfs, stars that shine no longer, resting forever in silence. None yet exist, for the universe is not old enough. But one day, countless black dwarfs will drift through the dark, eternal and still. These will be the ultimate resting stars. No glow, No heat, no flame, only silence, only calm. They will not be forgotten. They will be monuments to time itself, the quiet bones of creation. And you too deserve such hush. A place where you can rest fully, without effort, without struggle, without the need to shine. That silence waits for you tonight, not as an ending, but as peace. Dots scattered across the cosmos. There will be graveyards, regions filled with resting stars, collapsed suns, blackened dwarfs. But these graveyards are not bleak. They are gardens of stillness, places where light once danced and where silence now keeps watch. Imagine walking through such a place, not with fear, but with reverence. The stars around you are not gone. They are resting. The silence around you is not empty. It is full of presence, of memory, of peace. Tonight, your bed is such a graveyard, a place where the noise of the day has ended, where the fire of your hours has burned out, where you may lie in stillness and let silence guard you. Imagine a city at night where every home holds a light. Windows glow, lamps burn, and together they create a constellation across the streets. Now imagine that same city when all the lights are turned off. The houses remain, the streets remain, but the glow has dimmed. That is what the universe becomes. When suns grow quiet, a city of sleeping citizens. Each star rests in its own place, not gone, only slumbering. Their dreams are galaxies. Their memories are starlight that still drifts across eternity, even after they have closed their eyes. As you lie here tonight, think of yourself as one of those resting suns. You are allowed to sleep. You are allowed to dim your fire and drift into dreams. You are still part of the city, still part of the whole. Even as you rest. When fire cools, it does not vanish at once. Heat lingers, fading gently, softly, like the final notes of a song. In the cosmos, stars cool in the same way. Their warmth drifts into silence, leaving behind calm instead of noise. You, too, carry heat at the end of your day, the rush of thoughts, the tension in your body, the echoes of movement. But as you rest now, that heat begins to fade. The silence rises, like cool air after summer's sun. It does not erase the warmth. It simply transforms it into stillness. Close your eyes. Feel the way your body cools, the way your thoughts slow. This is your own star fading, not into loss, but into peace. When a candle is extinguished, the flame disappears, but smoke rises, curling and drifting, carrying with it the memory of the fire. Starlight, too, lingers after its source is gone. It travels across time, reaching us long after the star has grown quiet. This starlight is like candle smoke, delicate, lingering, refusing to vanish at once. It reminds us that endings do not erase what came before. They only soften it. Tonight, as you drift, imagine yourself surrounded by such smoke, not choking, not heavy, but light, curling gently, carrying with it whispers of all the suns that ever shone. You breathe in their memory, you exhale their peace. In the early universe, there were places where stars gathered densely, glowing so bright they lit entire regions of space. These were cities of fire, bustling, radiant, alive. Over time, many of them faded, their light scattering into dust, their fire resting. They are forgotten now, but their memory lingers. Their dust became new stars. Their echoes became new galaxies. Their silence became part of the great hush of the cosmos. Even forgotten places carry meaning. Even quiet moments carry weight. Your own forgotten hours, your own silent days, are not wasted. They are woven into the greater whole, shaping the story of your life in ways you may not yet see. Before a star grows silent, before it collapses into stillness, it dreams one final dream. It releases its light into the universe, scattering it across eternity. That light travels for billions of years, carrying the star's last thoughts, its final lullaby, Perhaps you see that light tonight, twinkling faintly in the sky above. A sun's final dream, crossing unimaginable distances, reaching your eyes as you rest. That light tells you, I was here, I burned, I dreamed, and now I rest. You, too, are allowed to dream before you rest. Your thoughts, your hopes, your quiet imaginings, they are light, crossing the silence, carrying you into the soft hush of sleep. There are places in the universe where silence gathers so thickly it feels alive, like trees in a forest, standing close together, their branches woven, their roots entwined. This is not a forest of wood or leaves, but a forest of time itself, tall, endless, stretching in all directions. Imagine walking among these trees. Each one is a moment, grown tall from a seed of possibility. Some are thin and fragile, brief flickers that vanish almost as soon as they arrive. Others are enormous, towering columns that have stood for eons, their bark carved with the memories of countless stars. The air of this forest is not filled with noise, it is filled with stillness. You can hear your own steps, soft against the ground, hear the whisper of your breath, the rhythm of your heart, and yet, beyond those sounds, there is quiet. It is a quiet so profound it feels like it listens back to you. This is the forest beyond time. Here, the seconds do not tick. Here, hours do not pass. Here, days and years dissolve into stillness, and all that remains is the sensation of being, of existing without measure. You may feel that you are walking alone, but you are not. The universe walks with you. Every star that has ever been born, every world that has ever turned, every being that has ever dreamed has left their trace in this forest. The trees are their memories, their echoes, their silent marks upon eternity. The path does not end. It winds, it stretches, it disappears into fog. But you do not need to find where it leads. You only need to walk, gently, slowly, letting each step carry you deeper into silence. The ground beneath you is steady. The air around you is soft. The forest does not demand, it welcomes. And as you walk, you realize something. You are not bound by your body here. You do not need to breathe if you don't wish to. You do not need to carry weight. You are light, drifting among trees that stretch forever, woven into the silence between their branches. Perhaps you sit against one of them now. Its bark is cool, its roots are steady. You lean back and feel yourself held, supported. The silence wraps around you like a blanket. The forest sings its quiet song, and time itself bends to let you rest. Every tree in this forest has roots. They stretch deep into the soil of eternity, reaching backward into beginnings older than stars. Some roots are thick, strong, binding one moment to the next. Others are delicate, fragile, like threads of silk. Together, they weave the ground into a net that catches every memory, every breath, every flicker of thought. If you touch these roots, you feel echoes. A star being born, a planet cooling from fire into stone, an ocean forming, its waves rolling in silence. A hand reaching out for another across time. Each root carries a memory, not lost, but hidden, waiting to be felt. And in these roots are your memories too. The laughter you thought you had forgotten, the warmth of moments that seemed to fade, the whispers of dreams that once lived in you. They are not gone. They are planted here, held deep, safe from the rush of time. You are not separate from the forest. You are one of its trees. Your roots stretch backward. Your branches reach outward. Your silence grows with theirs. You belong here, and you always have. Look upward. The branches of the forest stretch so high they pierce the sky. Some reach suns, wrapping their leaves around starlight. Some brush galaxies, catching sparks like fireflies in their canopies. Others disappear into the dark, never-ending, endless. These branches are not fragile. They are wide, strong, carrying the weight of worlds. If you walk far enough, you might step onto one, climbing higher, rising above the fog, until you stand among the stars themselves. Imagine that now. You are high above the forest floor, your feet steady on a branch that stretches wider than a continent. Around you, leaves glow faintly, each one catching a fragment of starlight. The silence is thicker, here yet lighter too. It does not weigh you down. It lifts you, and you realize the branches are not reaching for the stars. They are already part of them. The forest and the sky are one. The silence of the trees and the silence of the stars are the same. So too are you. When you look upward, when you dream, when you imagine beyond yourself, you are not reaching outward. You are touching what you already belong to. At the very top of the forest lies the canopy, a wide expanse of leaves that glow with their own faint light. These leaves are not ordinary. They are dreams. Every dream ever imagined, every vision ever held. They do not vanish when forgotten. They stay here, woven into the canopy, shining faintly like lanterns in the dark. Some are bright, shimmering with intensity. Others are soft, dim, flickering. But all are present, together, whispering to one another in a language older than sound. You may climb into this canopy now. You may lie among the leaves, letting them cradle you. Their glow falls across your skin, not harsh, not demanding, but soothing. It tells you that your dreams are here too. Even those you set aside, even those you thought you lost, they are woven into the forest, shining still. And as you close your eyes, those dreams lean down to you, brushing against your thoughts like soft hands. They do not urge you to act. They only urge you to rest. As you wander deeper, you begin to notice paths hidden between the trunks. They are not carved by feet, not pressed by wheels. They are shaped by silence itself, winding trails of stillness that invite you to follow. Some are wide and clear, glowing faintly with the light of distant stars above. Others are narrow, twisting, vanishing into fog, waiting to be discovered. These paths do not lead to destinations as we know them. They do not end in towns or houses. They end in moments, small clearings of calm where silence pools thicker, like water in a hollow stone. To step into one of these clearings is to feel time stop altogether. The trees grow quiet, the branches bow, and even your thoughts slow into stillness. It is here that you feel yourself most at peace. The forest has been carrying you all along, but here it gathers around you, enfolding you. You are no longer walking alone. The silence walks with you, step for step, thought for thought. It whispers, there is no need to hurry. There is nowhere else you need to be. You linger there, and the path itself seems to hold you, as though it has been waiting for you across the span of eternity. You are not a traveler lost in the woods. You are a traveler found by the forest. Above the canopy beyond the branches, there is a fog that rolls endlessly. It is not cold, not heavy. It is soft, glowing faintly with starlight, moving in slow currents like breath across a sleeping body. This fog is the eternal night, the veil between the forest and the stars, the boundary that is no boundary. It stretches across galaxies, filling the spaces between suns, weaving silence into fabric. When you step into it, you feel yourself dissolve, not in fear, not in loss, but in release. The boundaries of your body blur, your edges soften. You are no longer separate from the forest or the sky. You are the fog itself, moving slowly, endlessly, quietly. And as you drift, you realize this fog has always been here, waiting. You breathe it in every night as you sleep. You walk through it each time your mind quiets. It is not far away. It is within you, and you within it. Though the forest is silent, sometimes the trees whisper. Their voices are not words, not sounds, but movements. The creak of bark, the sway of branches, the hum of roots stretching through the soil of eternity. These whispers are not warnings. They are not instructions. They are simply reminders. You are not alone. If you press your hand against a trunk, you feel it vibrate faintly, as though a heartbeat runs through it. And indeed, the forest does have a heart. Not one heart, but countless. Every tree carrying the rhythm of time, every branch carrying the breath of silence. Together, they sing softly, endlessly. A song too quiet to disturb, but too steady to ignore. You realize then that this is what the universe sounds like when it sleeps. Not loud, not blazing, but whispering, gently, in endless trees. Deeper still, you find a river winding through the forest. But this river is unlike any you've seen. Its water does not rush forward. It flows backward, upstream, toward the beginning. You kneel beside it, watching starlight ripple across its surface. If you listen closely, you hear echoes in its current, memories flowing in reverse, moments unraveling into silence. The river carries time itself, winding backward to its first source. If you dip your hand into it, you feel moments slip past your skin. Old laughter, long-forgotten dreams, quiet afternoons you thought were gone. They are not gone. They drift, here, forever moving backward, forever safe in the current. The forest does not ask you to change the past. It only reminds you that it is not lost. It flows here, endlessly, part of the silence, part of the trees, part of you. At last, the forest opens into a clearing. Here, the trees part, the fog thins, and silence pools deeper than anywhere else. It is not an empty silence. It is a living silence, a silence that breathes with you, a silence that feels like the softest bed, the gentlest hand, the deepest comfort. You lie down upon its ground, and the earth rises to meet you. The roots cradle you like arms. The branches above weave into a roof, sheltering you. The stars peer softly through the leaves, and their light falls like a blanket across your body. Here, you do not need to move. You do not need to think. You do not need to be anything other than what you are. The forest has carried you, and now it holds you. The silence has followed you, and now it sings to you. You rest. Not for a moment, but for as long as you need. The forest beyond time is infinite. It does not measure your stay. It only waits, patiently, endlessly, until you rise again, or until you choose never to. The moon has always been more than rock, more than dust, more than a silent companion, circling in the dark. It is a memory keeper, a singer without a voice, holding songs older than humanity itself. Songs carved into its craters, etched into its valleys, whispered across its silent plains. But these songs are not sung aloud. They are carried in silence. The moon does not shout them into space. It hums them quietly, like a lullaby so soft. It can only be felt, not heard. If you look up at the night sky, you see the moon's face, scarred, glowing, unblinking. But if you close your eyes, if you let yourself drift into the quiet of your own breath, you may begin to hear the forgotten songs. They are not notes, not melodies. They are rhythms, the rhythm of tides, the rhythm of sleep, the rhythm of dreams. The moon sings when waves crash against shore, pulled by its gravity. The moon sings when shadows lengthen across forests at night. The moon sings when you close your eyes and drift into dreams, its silver glow falling across your resting body. You may not hear the sound, but you feel the song. It has always been with you. Long before humans raised their eyes to it, the moon sang the song of first light. When the earth was young, when oceans boiled and continents cracked, the moon circled silently, its pull steady, its glow soft. This first song was not for us. It was for the earth itself. It told the oceans when to rise and when to fall. It told the crust when to cool and when to break. It told the darkness that it would not always be alone, that there would always be a lantern burning in the sky. You can still hear this song if you listen closely. It hums in the rhythm of the tide. It beats in the crash of waves against cliffs. It echoes in the hush that follows. And tonight, you feel it in your own chest. The moon's first song, still alive, still steady, still guiding you as you rest. Every scar upon the moon is a hymn. Each crater is a note, struck by ancient collisions, etched into silence. Together, they form a symphony, not one of instruments, but of endurance. The hymns say, I have survived. They say, I have been struck, but I remain. They say, silence does not erase me. Silence carries me. When you gaze upon the moon's face, you are not just seeing rock. You are seeing music frozen in stone. You are seeing every note of resilience, every chord of survival. And those hymns are not for the moon alone. They are for you too. Your scars, your collisions, your moments of silence. They are not erasures. They are hymns. They are songs written upon your life, proof that you have endured, that you still glow, that your silence is not emptiness, but music. At night, when the moon shines brightest, it casts silver across the earth. This silver is not just light, it is song made visible. It falls across oceans, turning their waves to shining silk. It falls across mountains, draping them in calm. It falls across you, softening your skin, painting your rest in silver. This is the moon's lullaby. It does not ask you to wake. It does not ask you to move. It asks you only to rest, to lie still, to breathe, to let its glow hold you. As you drift deeper, imagine yourself bathed in this silver. It is cool, soothing, weightless. It washes away heat, it quiets noise, it softens thought. It tells you, sleep, you are safe. The night will hold you. The tides themselves are the moon's voice. They rise when it pulls, they fall when it releases, and together they create a rhythm that has never stopped since time began. Walk to any shore, anywhere on earth, and you are listening to the moon sing. Every wave that rolls is a note. Every retreat is a pause. Together they are a song written in water. Endless, patient, eternal. Tonight, even far from the ocean, you can feel that rhythm. It beats in your breath, it pulses in your heart, it moves in the silence of your body. You are an ocean too, and the moon pulls you gently, rocking you into rest. The moon never shows the same face twice in exactly the same way. Sometimes it glows full and round, a lantern flooding the sky with silver. Sometimes it shrinks into a thin crescent, a curved smile resting quietly above the horizon. At times it disappears altogether, new and hidden, waiting to be reborn. Each of these phases is a different melody in the moon's forgotten song. The full moon is a chorus, wide, resonant, undeniable. The crescent is a whisper, soft and secretive, like a quiet hum before sleep. The new moon is the pause, the rest, between notes, reminding us that silence itself is part of the music. Think of your own days. Sometimes you are full, shining brightly, glowing with energy. Sometimes you are only a sliver, thin and quiet, conserving strength. And sometimes you vanish into silence, resting unseen, waiting for your return. None of these are wrong. They are phases, melodies in your own song, as natural and necessary as the moon's. The moon is never without shadow. Even at its brightest, darkness clings to its surface, filling craters, outlining mountains. But this shadow is not its enemy. It is its counterpoint, the harmony that gives shape to the glow. Without shadow, the moon would not shine as it does. Its light would flatten, its face would lose depth. The shadow carves the song into richness, giving it texture, giving it contrast. You too carry shadows. They are not your failures. They are the counterpoint to your light. They shape you, they deepen you, they remind you that brightness means nothing without darkness beside it. Tonight, as you rest, allow those shadows to be part of your song. They are not here to silence you. They are here to make your melody whole. For countless ages, the moon sang its songs in silence, unseen, unheard. Then came eyes that looked upward, the first watchers, those who gazed upon its glow and felt something stir within them. Imagine those ancient nights, no lamps, no cities, only darkness stretching endlessly. And there, above, the moon, glowing softly, singing without sound. The first watchers did not know its science. They did not know its orbit, its composition, its distance. They only knew its presence. They only felt its song. They carved it into stone. They painted it on walls. They told stories of its face, its phases, its glow. The moon became more than a rock in the sky. It became a companion, a guardian, a voice in the silence. And in some way, you are still one of those watchers. You may understand the science now, but you still feel the song. Each time you look upward, each time you let its glow rest upon your skin, you are joining a chain that stretches back to the first gaze. You are hearing a song that has been sung for as long as eyes have looked into the night. The moon orbits alone. No other body shares its path. No other companion circles the earth with it. It drifts in silence, tethered only by gravity, glowing only by borrowed light. This loneliness is not despair, it is dignity. The moon sings the song of solitude, reminding us that being alone does not mean being lost. Being alone can mean being steady, being sure, being constant. When you feel lonely, remember the moon. It has circled the earth for billions of years, alone, and yet it has never failed. It has pulled the tides, lit the nights, cradled the dreams of countless beings. Its song of loneliness is also a song of purpose. Tonight, if you feel solitude pressing against you, let the moon sing to you. It says, you are not forgotten, you are not meaningless. Even in your quiet, you matter. Even in your stillness, you shine. There was a time when humans touched the moon. Their boots pressed into its dust. Their voices crackled across the silence. Their eyes gazed upon earth from its barren plains. And in those moments, the moon learned a new song. The lullaby of astronauts. Imagine standing there yourself. The horizon is sharp. The sky is black. The earth glows blue and fragile above you. No sound reaches your ears, for the moon holds silence like a treasure. Yet within your chest, your heartbeat thunders, reminding you that you are alive. The astronauts heard the moon's forgotten songs not with their ears, but with their souls. They felt the stillness press against them. They felt the weight of silence. They felt the vastness of being both so small and yet part of something infinite. When they returned, they carried that lullaby back to Earth, though few could understand it. But tonight, as you rest, you can understand. You do not need to leave your bed. You do not need to walk its surface. You only need to close your eyes and imagine yourself beneath that endless black sky, Earth above you, silence around you, the moon's song vibrating through your bones. That is the astronaut's lullaby. The moon's songs are not only forgotten, some are waiting. Waiting for you. Waiting for the night when your silence is deep enough to hear them. Perhaps it is tonight. Perhaps as you close your eyes, as you sink deeper, you will feel one of those songs slip into you. It will not be loud. It will not demand. It will be soft, like a hand resting on your shoulder, like a whisper against your ear. The song will tell you that you are safe, that you are held, that you are part of something eternal. It will remind you that even when you feel forgotten, you are remembered. Even when you feel voiceless, you are singing. The moon waits patiently for such nights. It has no hurry, no deadline. It will circle forever until you are ready. And when you are, its song will be there, waiting. Imagine a river flowing across the universe, not of water, not of light, but of silence itself. This river is made of black holes, scattered like stepping stones across infinity, each one a gate where time folds inward and sound is swallowed whole. It is not a violent river. It does not rage with waves. It drifts, calm and endless, curving through galaxies like an invisible current. The black holes are not monsters. They are wells, deep and patient, drinking in the noise of the cosmos, holding it within their silent throats. If you could drift upon this river, you would hear nothing. No heartbeat of stars, no hum of light, no whisper of dust. And yet, you would not be afraid. You would feel the calm of being carried by something older than thought. Something that has been flowing since the first fire burned and the first silence stretched. This is the river of black holes, a place where the universe folds itself into rest, where everything eventually drifts when its time has ended. And you too are part of it. Each night you close your eyes, you dip into this river. Each dream, each silence between breaths is a black hole of your own. Not destruction, but retreat, a folding inward that leads to peace. Each black hole is a mouth, but it does not speak. It opens wide, wider than stars, wider than galaxies, and swallows sound, light, motion. It takes everything and holds it within, never to return it in the same way. But this mouth is not hunger. It is silence itself. It is the quiet that gathers what has grown too loud, what has burned too brightly, what has run too far. It pulls it inward and hushes it. Like a mother pulling a restless child into her arms, it quiets, it soothes, it holds. Imagine lying here, and the noise of your day, the voices, the worries, the rushing thoughts, is pulled gently into such a mouth, not devoured, not destroyed, but hushed. The silence takes them, the silence keeps them, and in their absence, you rest. Every black hole has a horizon, a point where nothing can return. It is not a wall you can see. It is not a line painted across the sky. It is an invisible threshold, a veil between what remains and what is held forever in silence. If you drift beyond that horizon, you do not feel fear. You feel release. The weight you carried falls away. The noise dissolves. The urgency melts into stillness. Beyond the horizon, there is only quiet, stretching endlessly inward. Tonight, as you close your eyes, imagine yourself at such a horizon. You hover at its edge, and with one breath, you cross. You do not fall, you drift. And as you drift, you are gathered into silence so deep it feels like sleep, so eternal it feels like peace. Though we cannot see it, the river flows. Black holes are not scattered randomly. They form currents, streams, pathways through the universe. They guide the dance of galaxies, pulling stars gently into their embrace, shaping the structure of everything. This current is not violent. It does not thrash. It does not roar. It moves slowly, patiently, carrying everything in time. Even the brightest suns will one day drift into this current. Even the loudest galaxies will one day fall silent within it. You, too, are carried by a current tonight. Not of destruction, but of rest. It pulls you gently, invisibly, through sleep. You do not need to swim. You do not need to steer. You are carried, as all things are carried, by the silent river. If you could look upon the river from afar, you might see black holes not as voids, but as gardens. Around them, stars spiral like petals, dust swirls like pollen, light bends like branches swaying in wind. The black hole at the center is the soil, dark and rich, holding everything in place. These are not gardens of death, they are gardens of renewal. From the silence at their center, galaxies bloom. From the calm they impose, stars find their rhythm. From the quiet they demand, beauty arises. And you too have such a garden within you. In the darkest corners of your silence, new life is waiting. In the quiet you fear, new dreams take root. You are not falling apart. You are blooming inward, waiting for the right moment to open. The river of black holes never ends. It curves through time, through galaxies, through futures we cannot imagine. It carries everything: stars, planets, dust, light, silence. And it will carry you too. But this is not a threat. This is a promise. The river does not forget. It does not drop what it gathers. It holds it forever, safe within silence. As you close your eyes now, feel yourself slipping into that river. It is cool. It is dark. It is endless. It does not frighten you. It carries you gently, endlessly, deeper and deeper into rest. You are safe upon its current. You are safe beyond its horizons. You are safe in its silence. Every dream you've ever had is not lost. They live within hidden rooms, vast, quiet chambers tucked away inside the architecture of the mind. You may not remember them upon waking, but they wait for you, patiently, silently, until you wander back through the corridors of sleep. These rooms are endless. Some are small, like closets, holding single moments. A voice, a face, a feeling that flashes and fades. Others are enormous, like cathedrals, their ceilings stretching so high that echoes dissolve before they can fall back down. In these greater rooms, entire worlds live. Landscapes of forests and oceans, skies with colors you've never seen, cities built from memory and imagination. When you sleep, you are not falling into chaos. You are walking through these rooms. Each step takes you deeper. Each turn leads to another chamber. Some you will remember, some you will not, but all of them shape you. The silence between your thoughts is their foundation, and dreams bloom upon it like flowers on soil. Not every room remains open. Some close behind you as soon as you leave, their doors sealed, their contents hidden. These are the doorways of forgetting, the passages that carry dreams into silence. It may feel like loss, waking with no memory of where you've been. But forgetting is not erasure, it is protection. The mind knows what to keep and what to release, what to hand you and what to hide. Imagine standing before such a doorway now. Its surface is carved with shifting patterns, symbols you cannot quite recognize, yet they feel familiar. The door is warm beneath your hand, alive with the pulse of the dream it holds. You do not need to open it. You only need to know it is there. The forgotten rooms are not gone. They are safe. They are waiting. One day, when silence is deep enough, you may walk through them again. There are rooms filled only with your earliest dreams. Dreams you had before words, before memories, before you even knew yourself. These rooms glow softly, lit by lanterns of innocence. The walls are painted in colors too pure for waking life, and the silence is gentle, like the hush of a nursery. When you step into these rooms, you feel small again. Not weak, not fragile, simply small, as you once were, before the weight of years pressed upon your shoulders. The rooms sing lullabies you cannot name, songs you once knew but have long forgotten. And as you listen, you feel yourself relax into their care. The rooms of childhood are eternal. No matter how old you become, they remain within you. Each night, you close your eyes. You might stumble back into them, if only for a moment. And even if you do not, their glow shines faintly in the distance, always waiting, always holding you. Some rooms are filled with echoes, dreams that repeat, dreams that return again and again, slightly different each time. These rooms are vast, their walls curved like shells, amplifying the faintest whispers. When you step inside, you hear yourself speaking in voices you barely recognize. You see yourself walking paths you've walked before, making choices you've already made. Yet something shifts each time. A color changes, a door moves, A figure turns its head. The echoes never repeat perfectly. They bend, they grow, they adapt. Dot. These are the rooms of memory. They take fragments of your waking life and mirror them, twist them, turn them into patterns that only silence can understand. They are not punishments, they are reminders. They are the mind's way of showing you the ripples your life creates, the echoes that never fade. Deeper still, you may find the library. It is not built of wood or stone. It is endless shelves carved from silence, each holding books that are not written in ink, but in light. Every dream you have ever had is here. Every dream you will ever have is here. Each book glows faintly, humming with its own rhythm. Some are thin, single-page dreams that flickered and vanished. Others are massive, stretching on forever. Dreams so vast they seem like entire lives. You run your hand along the spines, and they vibrate softly, like strings of an instrument. Each one sings its own forgotten song. You pull one free, open it, and the dream unfolds around you, not as memory, but as reality. The library does not store words, it stores worlds. And in this library, you are not a visitor. You are the librarian. The silence responds to your touch, guiding you to the shelves you need. Each time you sleep, you return, even if you forget upon waking. You are keeper of your dreams, even when you do not remember them. At the deepest point of the dream rooms lies the chamber of eternal sleep. It is not frightening, it is not dark, it is the softest room of all, a place where silence is absolute, where the body rests forever, where the mind dissolves into the quiet it has always sought. Here, the walls breathe with you. The floor cradles you. The ceiling bends into infinity, showing a sky filled with stars that do not move, do not fade, do not die. You lie down, and the chamber folds around you, whispering, "You are home." This is not a room you must rush toward. It is not a room you must fear. It is always there, waiting, patient, eternal. And tonight, as you drift, you feel a faint echo of it. Not yet final, not yet complete, but enough to cradle you, enough to let you rest. There is a veil stretched across the universe. Not cloth, not glass, not something the hand can touch, but something the soul can feel. It hangs between what we know and what we do not, between the visible and the invisible, between waking life and the deeper silence of existence. This veil is thin. Sometimes you feel it ripple when you dream, when you drift half awake and sense a world just beyond your reach. Sometimes you feel it shiver when you stare at the stars too long, when their light seems to say more than your mind can hold. The veil is not a barrier. It does not block. It softens. It filters. It allows us to glimpse just enough without being overwhelmed. Like sheer fabric across a window, it lets the light through but dims the brilliance, making it gentle, making it bearable. And beneath this veil, realities drift endlessly. Some close to ours, shadows of what we might have been. Some far incomprehensible, woven from rules we cannot name. They press against the veil like leaves against glass. Their presence felt though their shapes are blurred. Tonight, as you close your eyes, you are not bound to one world. You drift across the veil. You brush against possibilities. You breathe the air of another silence, and in that silence, you rest. The veil moves. It is not fixed, not rigid. It sways like fabric in the wind, rising and falling with the breath of the cosmos. Each time the universe inhales, the veil billows outward, brushing against realities beyond. Each time the universe exhales, it folds inward, wrapping us close in silence. You feel this breath within your own chest. Inhale, the veil stretches, and the world around you softens. Exhale, the veil folds, and the world holds you close. You are breathing with the cosmos itself. You are swaying with the fabric of everything. This breath does not end. It has been moving since the first silence. It will continue long after every star has gone quiet. And as you drift now, it rocks you gently, like a cradle suspended between realities, humming softly with every breath. Sometimes you sense them, shapes moving just beyond sight, figures pressing softly against the veil. They are not here to frighten you. They are the echoes of other worlds, lives that might have been, choices not taken, paths unwalked. They stand close, whispering through the thin fabric. You do not need to understand them. You only need to know they are there, not as threats, but as companions. For every step you take in this world, another step is taken in theirs. For every silence you hold, another silence answers. The shadows do not demand. They do not intrude. They are the quiet audience of your life, watching gently, reminding you that you are never alone. Even across realities, silence connects us. There are moments when the veil tears, brief, fleeting, fragile, but real. These are the moments when you feel something more. Déjà vu, a dream that feels truer than waking, a memory of something that never happened yet lingers as though it did. The tear is not dangerous. It is a gift. For a moment, the veil lifts, and you glimpse what lies beyond. You see another version of yourself, walking another path, dreaming another dream. And though the veil soon closes again, the memory remains, like a faint shimmer upon your thoughts. Tonight, as you drift into sleep, you may find yourself near such a tear. You may peer through and see a life that could have been. Do not reach for it. Do not mourn it. Simply know that it exists, and that in its silence, it blesses you. Some say that when we dream, we do not merely imagine, we cross, we step through the veil into other realities, wander their forests, drink from their rivers, breathe their air. We return in the morning, our memories blurred, our journeys forgotten, but traces remain. Perhaps this explains why some dreams feel so heavy, so real, as if you carried their weight back with you. Perhaps this is why strangers in dreams feel familiar, why places you have never been feel like home. The veil allowed you passage, and though you returned, you brought pieces of that silence with you. And tonight, you will cross again. Your eyes will close, your breathing will slow, and the veil will part just enough to let you through. Where you go, you may not remember. What you see, you may not carry back. But the peace of those hidden places will linger, folded into your rest, stitched into your silence. The veil is not just between worlds. It is the fabric of the cosmos itself. Every star, every shadow, every silence is a thread woven into it. It stretches endlessly, shimmering faintly, humming softly with the weight of existence. To touch, it is to touch everything. To rest upon, it is to rest upon infinity. And tonight, as you sink deeper into calm, you are lying upon this fabric. It folds around you like a blanket, soft and endless, covering you in its quiet glow. The veil between realities is not far away. It is here. It is always here. It is the silence that cradles you, the calm that holds you, the dream that waits behind your eyes. It is the whisper that tells you, you are safe, you are endless, you are home. There is a library that does not exist in any city, built of no stone, lit by no lamps. It floats in silence, endless as the night sky, its shelves stretching farther than sight, its stairways spiraling upward into shadow. This is the library of forgotten thoughts, where every idea once whispered and then abandoned comes to rest. You enter quietly, and the silence greets you. Dust does not coat these shelves, for there is no time here. Each book glows faintly, as though written in starlight. Their spines do not bear titles you can read, but you know what they are. They are your thoughts, the ones you lost in half dreams, the ones you let slip while staring into the dark, the ones you felt only once and never held again. The library is not sorrowful. It does not mourn what has been forgotten. It keeps every thought safe, as though memory is not needed for meaning. Nothing is lost here. Everything is waiting. You wander down an aisle, and the shelves tower above you, filled with books that hum softly. Each one whispers when you pass, not in words, but in feelings. A sigh you once released, a hope you once carried, a fear you once quieted. These whispers are faint, but they linger, curling around your ears like smoke. You pause before a book. Its glow is familiar. When you touch it, the whisper grows louder. It is a childhood thought, one you had on a summer night long ago. You had forgotten it completely, and yet here it is, alive, safe, whispering itself back into you. The stacks are endless, filled with such whispers. Some hum gently, some sing faintly, some echo like bells in the distance. They are all part of you, even those you thought you had let go. The silence of the library has kept them. You are not alone here. Figures drift through the aisles, moving without sound, their shapes shifting like smoke. They are the archivists, guardians of forgotten thoughts. They do not speak. They do not judge. They carry books in their arms, shelving them carefully, ensuring nothing is ever lost. When you pass them, they nod to you, acknowledging your presence. You realize that every forgotten thought has been carefully placed by them, catalogued in silence, kept safe from the erosion of time. Even the smallest ideas, a sentence you almost wrote, a dream you almost remembered, has been given its place here. You feel gratitude for them. Their silence is not emptiness, it is devotion. They are keepers of what slips away, and because of them, nothing is truly gone. In the center of the library rises a staircase, spiraling upward into infinity. You climb, and with each step, the shelves change. At one level, they are filled with thoughts of joy, laughter, wonder, light. At another, they are filled with sorrow, tears, aches, silences that weighed heavy. At another, they are filled with questions never answered, dreams never chased, words never spoken. The higher you climb, the quieter it becomes, as though the air itself is made of memory. You do not feel burdened. You feel lighter, as though each step carries you closer to the heart of silence, where all thoughts converge into one. You do not need to reach the top. The staircase has no top. It winds forever, and you are free to wander as far as you wish, knowing the library will always wait. Deep in the library lies a chamber filled not with books, but with jars of glass. Inside each one is an unspoken word, things you meant to say but never did, confessions you swallowed, truths you held silent. The jars glow faintly, and when you approach, you hear them murmur. They do not accuse you, they do not scold, they simply sing themselves softly, as if to remind you that even what you left unsaid has value. The silence of the library gave them a home. You pick up one jar. Inside it, you see yourself, younger, hesitating, holding a word on the tip of your tongue. You did not speak it then, but here it lives, safe, glowing. You smile and set it back, knowing the silence kept it for you. At the center of the library rests a great chair, carved of shadow, lit by starlight. It is empty when you arrive, waiting for you. When you sit, you feel the entire library breathe. Every book hums louder, every whisper leans closer, every archivist bows their head. You realize then the truth. You are not only a visitor here, you are the librarian. You have always been the librarian. These thoughts are yours. This silence is yours. This library is yours. You are keeper of your forgotten selves, caretaker of your quietest truths. And as you rest in the chair, the library folds around you like a cloak holding you close. Forgotten does not mean gone. Silence does not mean empty. You are whole, and everything you have ever thought remains within you. Beyond the library, past the last whispering shelves and spiraling staircases, lies a door that opens into starlight. You step through and find yourself in a vast garden. A place not bound by seasons, not touched by day, where the night blooms endlessly. The air here is cool, filled with the faint scent of something you cannot name, something like jasmine and starlight woven together. The ground is soft, moss, glowing faintly under your feet. Above, the sky stretches infinite, filled not with one moon or one sun, but countless lanterns of galaxies, stars scattered like seeds across eternity. This is the garden of infinite nights. Here, silence blossoms. Here, stillness grows wild. Every flower is a constellation, every tree a pillar of shadow and glow, every path winding towards some new mystery. It is not a place of endings. It is a place of eternal blooming, a night that never fades. All around you, flowers bloom. Their petals are not of flesh, but of light, soft, radiant, glowing with the brilliance of stars. Some shine blue, some gold, some crimson, each one humming faintly, their glow pulsing like the quiet rhythm of a heartbeat. When you touch them, they do not wither. They expand, opening wider, spilling light into the garden. Each flower holds the memory of a star, a sun that once burned, once sang, once lived. Here, in the garden, they bloom again, their silence transformed into beauty. As you walk, these flowers lean toward you. Their glow falls across your skin, bathing you in warmth without heat, brightness without harshness. They whisper, though not in words, rest, breathe. You are safe in the garden. Scattered among the flowers are trees, tall and endless, their trunks woven from shadow, their branches strung with galaxies like lanterns. They sway gently, though no wind stirs them. Their roots stretch into the fabric of silence itself, pulling stillness upward, feeding on eternity. These trees are older than time. They grew from the first silence, nurtured by the quiet between stars. Each branch holds a memory of night, each leaf a fragment of calm. You pause beneath one, leaning against its trunk. The bark hums faintly, vibrating with the rhythm of the cosmos. You close your eyes, and the tree sings, not loudly, but with the soft pulse of life older than words. The song seeps into you, into your bones, into your breath, until your own heartbeat matches its rhythm. Paths wind through the garden, lit not by lamps, but by hovering orbs of light. They float above the ground, swaying gently like fireflies. Some are bright, some faint, but together they mark the way forward. You do not need to choose where to walk. The garden is endless, and every path leads to peace. You follow the lanterns, their glow brushing your skin, their silence guiding your steps. Each orb hums faintly when you pass, acknowledging you, welcoming you, weaving you into the night. The path does not hurry you. It bends, it curves, it lingers beneath trees, beside glowing ponds, through fields of flowers that sparkle faintly with starlight. Every step is slow, gentle, deliberate. The garden does not measure time. It only asks you to rest. Above you, the sky of the garden never changes. It is always night, always filled with stars, always stretching beyond sight. Yet it is not static. The stars shimmer, pulse, drift slowly, as though breathing with the garden itself. Sometimes a shooting star arcs across the horizon, its glow lingering like a brushstroke of silver. Sometimes a nebula unfurls, spilling color into the darkness, hues of violet, crimson, and blue. These changes are not hurried. They unfold slowly, gracefully, like the turning of a page. You lie upon the ground, staring upward, and the sky leans closer, wrapping you in its brilliance. You feel no need to reach for it. It is already here. The infinite night is already within you. At the garden's heart lies a fountain, but it does not flow with water. It flows with silence itself, spilling stillness into the air. Its stream glows faintly, like liquid starlight, and every drop sings without sound, echoing through the night. You kneel beside it, Cupping your hands in its glow, the silence gathers there, cool and weightless, flowing through your fingers, seeping into your skin. When you drink, it does not quench thirst. It soothes the soul. It fills you with calm so deep that even your thoughts dissolve into quiet. The fountain never runs dry. It has flowed since the first night, and it will flow until the last. It is the heart of the garden, the pulse of infinite nights. And tonight, it beats in rhythm with you. At last, you find a resting place among the flowers. The moss cradles you, the trees shield you, the lanterns hover close, and the sky stretches endlessly above. The silence folds itself around you, soft and endless, like a blanket woven from stars. You are not a visitor here. You are part of the garden. Its flowers bloom for you. Its lanterns glow for you. Its silence hums with your breath. You are not lost in the night. You are home in it. As you close your eyes, the garden continues to bloom. The infinite night stretches forever, carrying you deeper into rest. The stars sing without words. The silence hums without sound, and you drift, weightless, endless, at peace. Beyond the garden of infinite nights, where the paths of lanterns fade into mist, a mountain rises. It is vast, taller than thought, older than time. Its slopes are wrapped in silence, its summit lost in shadow, its face carved with memories of everything the universe has ever known. This is the mountain that remembers. It does not move. It does not speak. It simply holds. Its stones carry echoes of beginnings. Its cliffs are etched with the stories of stars. Its valleys cradle the whispers of all who have ever walked beneath the sky. When you place your hand against its surface, it vibrates faintly, as though a pulse runs through the stone. You realize the mountain is alive, not in the way of breath or blood, but in the way of memory. It has seen everything. It has forgotten nothing. And in its silence, it keeps all things safe. You begin to climb. The path is not steep, not harsh. It winds gently upward, curving through ridges of shadow and fields of rock that shimmer faintly with starlight. Each step feels lighter than the last, as though the mountain itself lifts you. You are not struggling. You are being carried. At the base of the mountain, countless footprints are pressed into the stone. Some are small, delicate, almost faded. Others are vast, heavy, carved deep into the ground. These are the footsteps of time, the traces left by every being, every star, every silence that has ever touched the mountain. You kneel and place your hand into one of the prints. It fits, though it is not yours. In that moment, you feel the memory of another, a life long past, a thought once held, a silence once breathed. The mountain does not tell you whose it was. It does not need to. It only shares the echo, reminding you that you are part of a chain stretching endlessly backward. As you continue upward, you realize your own steps are joining them. The mountain does not erase. It adds. Every step you take becomes memory, pressed into its skin, kept forever in silence. You will not be forgotten. Halfway up, you find a cavern opening into the mountain's side. Inside, the air is cool, heavy, filled with the sound of echoes. But these echoes are not of your own voice. They are the voices of the past, whispers of stars collapsing, songs of oceans forming, sighs of ancient winds across empty plains. The cavern glows faintly, light dripping from its ceiling like liquid, pooling into shapes upon the floor. Each pool is a memory, shimmering faintly, showing scenes of what has been. Galaxies born, civilizations rising, dreams whispered in the dark. You sit among them, watching. The echoes do not demand your attention. They drift around you, soft and endless, like the background hum of the universe. You realize then that every sound, every silence, every breath has been kept. Nothing is lost to the mountain. Nothing fades. At last, you reach the peak. The climb has been effortless, and yet it feels eternal. The summit is not a jagged crown, but a wide plain, flat and still, open to the infinite sky. Here, the silence is absolute. Even your thoughts seem hushed, softened by the weight of the mountain's presence. From this height, you see everything. The garden below glows faintly. The forest beyond, time stretches in the distance. The river of black holes winds like a dark ribbon through the cosmos. Every part of the journey is visible, every silence connected, every path converging here. The mountain does not speak. It does not need to. Its memory fills you. You realize that you too are part of what it remembers. Every breath you have taken, every silence you have carried, is etched into its stone. You are not forgotten. You are part of eternity. You lie. Upon the summit, the stone cool beneath you, the sky endless above. The mountain holds you. The silence wraps you, and memory itself becomes your bed. You are safe here. You are endless here. You are remembered here. Beyond the mountain's summit, in a valley where silence deepens into something almost tangible, lies a mirror. It is not framed in silver, not hung upon a wall. It stretches across the valley floor, wide as an ocean, smooth as glass. Its surface does not ripple. Its depths hold no color. It reflects not light, but truth. This is the mirror of eternal stillness. It does not show you as you appear in the world. It shows you as you are in silence, stripped of noise, stripped of fear, stripped of everything that hides your essence. When you lean over it, you do not see your face. You see your soul, vast and quiet, glowing faintly in the dark. You kneel beside it. The air is cool, the silence absolute. Slowly, you place your hand against the mirror. It does not resist. It does not shatter. It accepts you, drawing you in, until you feel yourself sink gently through its surface, entering the stillness that lies within. Inside the mirror, there is no ground, there is no sky, there is only stillness, stretching forever. It is not water, yet it holds you as though you float. You drift weightless, your body dissolving, your thoughts scattering, until only calm remains. There are no waves here, no movement, no time, only the pure presence of being. It is as though you are held in, the breath between inhale and exhale, a pause that has no end, a silence so deep it feels infinite. You realize then that this is not absence, this is fullness. The stillness is not void, it is everything, gathered and quieted, resting in one eternal moment. And you, drifting within it, are part of that rest. The mirror does not only show what is, it shows what could have been. As you drift in its depths, shapes begin to shimmer around you, reflections of paths not taken, lives not lived, dreams not followed. You see yourself walking other roads, speaking other words, breathing other silences. At first, you may feel sorrow, but the mirror does not judge. It does not say you have failed. It shows you only that you are infinite, that you contain multitudes, that every possibility has always lived within you. The stillness gathers them all, holds them all, without preference, without regret. You reach toward one reflection, and it does not vanish. It ripples, acknowledging you, reminding you that, though you live one path, the others are never gone. They bloom quietly in the silence, eternal, waiting. In the center of the mirror, a voice speaks. But it is not sound. It is stillness itself, folding into words you feel rather than hear. The voice says, "You are enough." The voice says, "You are endless." The voice says, "You are home." The stillness is not commanding. It does not demand you change. It does not urge you forward or backward. It asks only that you rest, that you accept the truth of your being. You are part of silence, and silence is part of you. When you are ready, the stillness releases you. Slowly, gently, You rise, your body forming again, your breath returning, your thoughts reassembling like stars coalescing from dust. You emerge from the mirror's surface, back into the valley, back beneath the endless sky dot. But you are not the same. The stillness lingers within you, glowing faintly, humming softly, reminding you that the mirror is always there. Even when you leave, it remains. Even when you forget, it remembers. You stand at its edge, gazing across its endless surface. It reflects not your face, not your body, but the eternal calm you carry now within you. You bow your head, not in worship, but in gratitude. And the mirror bows back, its silence shining in reply. Beyond the mirror's valley, along a path lit faintly by the glow of unseen stars, hangs a field of lanterns. They float in the air, endless as the horizon, each one glowing softly, swaying as though in a breeze that does not exist. These are not ordinary lanterns. They are the lights of souls who have drifted beyond memory, souls whose names have faded, whose voices have quieted, whose presence has dissolved into silence. And yet, they are not gone. The silence has kept them. It has gathered them into these lanterns, cradling them gently, allowing their glow to remain. When you step among them, you do not feel fear, you feel peace. Each lantern hums faintly, not in sorrow, but in serenity. They are not mourning what they once were, they are resting, suspended in the calm of eternity. Some lanterns glow brightly, their light steady, strong. Others are dim, flickering faintly, their glow so soft it barely touches the air around them. Yet every lantern is equal. Every glow matters. Every soul is kept. You lean close to one, its glow warms your face. Inside, you see a fragment, a smile once given, a word once spoken, a step once taken upon a distant path. You do not know whose memory it is. You do not need to. It belongs to silence now, and silence shares it with you. The lantern hums softly, and in its glow you feel recognition. Not of another, but of yourself. For every forgotten soul is not separate from you. You are woven from their echoes, their breaths, their silences. Their glow is your glow. The lanterns float in patterns. Some cluster together, weaving constellations in the air. Others drift alone, solitary lights in the endless dark. Yet together they form a path, winding forward, guiding you deeper into the field. You follow without hesitation. Each step is lit, each turn is marked. The lanterns do not demand you move quickly. They sway in patience, waiting, their glow steady as stars. The path is not an end. It is a continuation, a reminder that even in silence, there is guidance. Even in loss, there is light. The souls are not gone. They are lanterns, waiting, forever shining in the night. Some lanterns speak, not in voices, not in words, but in whispers of feeling. When you draw close, you sense laughter, sorrow, longing, joy. These are not your emotions. They belong to those who came before. Yet silence allows you to share them, to carry them, to hold them without fear. One lantern, whispers of oceans. Another of forests. Another of a single moment of love. Held so tightly, it glows brighter than an entire life. Each whisper is different, but all are part of the same song. The song of existence, carried into silence, preserved in light. The lanterns do not burden you. They do not weigh you down. They remind you that you are never alone. Every soul is here, glowing still, whispering still, part of the endless calm. You walk for what feels like forever, yet the lanterns never fade. They stretch endlessly, a horizon of lights suspended in silence. You realize then that this is the true sky of the universe, not only stars, but souls, not only galaxies, But memories. The field does not end, because silence does not end. It gathers everything, keeps everything, glows with everything. And you, walking among the lanterns, are not a visitor. You are part of them. One day, your own light will join theirs, glowing gently, swaying quietly, whispering peace to those who wander after you. Tonight, though, you are here to rest among them. You lie down upon the ground, and the lanterns hang above you like stars. Their glow falls across your skin, soft and endless, a blanket of light woven from silence. You close your eyes, and the lanterns hum, their whispers carrying you deeper into rest. Beyond the field of lanterns, the path curves downward, carrying you gently toward a horizon where the night begins to pale. Here lies the shore of eternal dawn, a place where silence stretches like an ocean and light rests just beyond, waiting to rise. The air is softer here, touched with the faintest glow of beginnings. It is not day, not yet. It is not night, not fully. It is the pause between, the threshold where silence lingers longest, where the universe holds its breath before the first light returns. You walk upon sand that shimmers faintly, each grain glowing as though it remembers the stars. The ocean before you does not move. It lies still as glass, reflecting the sky above, holding both night and dawn upon its surface. This shore is endless. It stretches in both directions beyond sight, and yet you feel no need to wander. Every step is already eternal. Every glance already contains the whole. The shore is not a place to explore. It is a place to rest. The ocean here is not like others. Its waves do not crash. Its tides do not pull. It waits, perfectly still, perfectly calm, as though the entire sea has been hushed into silence. You kneel at its edge, touching the surface. It does not ripple. It accepts your hand, cool and weightless, reflecting your gaze without distortion. You lean closer, and the water shows you not your face, but your soul in quiet, calm, patient, unhurried. This is the water of waiting, the ocean of silence before beginnings. It does not push you forward. It does not pull you back. It holds you in stillness, reminding you that not all things must move. Some things exist only to rest. Far ahead, where the sea meets the sky, a glow gathers. It is not the sharp blaze of sunrise. It is soft, faint, like embers beneath ash. The horizon burns with gentle fire, the promise of light, the whisper of dawn. You do not hurry toward it. You do not need to. The horizon will come to you in time. For now, you sit upon the sand, watching the glow thicken, expand, spill across, the sky in colors too tender for words. Pink, gold, violet, silver. All shifting, all blending, all painting the silence. The horizon reminds you that beginnings are never sudden. They bloom slowly, carefully, like flowers in the dark. And you, sitting at the shore, are allowed to watch without demand, without rush. The dawn will rise. The silence will remain. Both belong to you. Above the horizon, faint shapes stir, birds made of shadow and light, their wings wide, their motion slow. They drift across the sky, circling, gliding, but they do not sing. Their silence is their song, their presence, their melody. You watch them move, and you feel no longing for sound. Their quiet flight is enough. Their wings carve patterns into the sky, as though writing upon the silence, inscribing messages meant not to be read but to be felt. The birds of dawn remind you that song does not always require sound. Presence itself can be music. Silence itself can be a lullaby. Here, at the shore of eternal dawn, you feel the universe pause. Night does not vanish. Day does not arrive. Both rest together, balanced in a moment that does not end. You breathe, and the shore breathes with you. You rest, and the silence deepens around you. You close your eyes, and the horizon glows more brightly, its light folding into your dreams. The pause is not an interruption. It is the essence of peace. It is the moment between every heartbeat, the hush between every wave, the stillness between inhale and exhale. The shore of eternal dawn is that pause, made infinite, made eternal, made home. You lie down upon the sand, the grains glowing faintly beneath you, the ocean reflecting the stars above. The horizon waits, the silence hums, and you drift, not into night, not into day, but into the eternal pause that holds them both. From the shore of eternal dawn, a gentle path curves inland, leading you to a river that glows in the dark. This is no ordinary river. Its waters are not water at all, but starlight. Liquid radiance flowing endlessly through the land. This is the river of returning stars. Every light that has ever faded, every sun that has ever burned out, every spark that has dimmed is carried here. The river gathers them, holds them, and guides them back toward the sky. The surface glimmers with endless sparks, each one drifting like a firefly caught in current. They rise from the water in arcs, floating upward, returning to the heavens as new stars, new lanterns in the endless night. Nothing is lost here. Everything returns. When you stand at its edge, the glow falls upon your skin, warm without heat, bright without sharpness. The river does not rush. It flows gently, endlessly, humming a tune that feels like recognition, like a memory too deep for words. As you watch, you realize that the stars in the river are not only suns, they are memories, drifting back toward the sky. Forgotten moments, lost whispers, silences carried away by time. All of them shimmer here, flowing together in the current. You kneel and dip your hand into the stream. The starlight slips between your fingers like silk. For a moment you catch a glow, and in it you see something familiar. A fragment of your own life. A smile once shared. A breath once taken beneath a younger sky. You had forgotten it. But the river had not. You release the spark, and it floats upward, returning to the heavens. The memory is not gone. It is placed back into the sky, where it will shine forever. The river reminds you, nothing you are is lost. Everything you have ever been is part of the constellations above. Across the river span bridges of shadow and light. Some are narrow, delicate, swaying gently. Others are wide, carved of glowing stone, steady and eternal. Each bridge leads to another side, but none are hurried. They wait, patient, silent, glowing faintly in the river's reflection. You step onto one. The surface hums softly beneath your feet, carrying the vibration of the current below. Each step is a note, each pause a rest, and together they form a song you do not need to understand to feel. As you cross, you look down, and the river looks back. Countless sparks rise, countless memories drift, countless stars return. You are walking not over water, but over eternity itself, stitched together by silence. When the sparks rise from the river, they sing, not with sound, not with voices, but with light. Each flicker upward is a note, each arc into the sky is a phrase. Together they form a hymn of return, the hymn of the stars. You tilt your head upward and watch as they climb. They do not rush, they drift, weightless, patient, glowing brighter as they ascend. Some gather into clusters, forming constellations. Others travel alone, solitary lanterns rising into the dark. This is not rebirth, it is return. Every star belongs to the sky, and the river is the path home. As you listen, you realize the song is not only theirs, it is yours. You too are rising, each breath a flicker, each silence a step upward. You too are returning. Along the riverbanks, silence grows thick. Moss glows faintly, flowers bloom with petals of glass. Trees lean toward the light as though in prayer. The air is cool, the ground steady, the glow endless. You sit upon the bank, the current before you, the stars drifting upward into the night. You feel no need to move. The river flows without your effort. The stars return without your command. All you must do is rest, letting the silence of the banks fold around you. The river of returning stars hums softly, endlessly, carrying you deeper into calm. And as you close your eyes, you feel yourself part of its current, part of its song, part of its return. Beyond the river's glowing banks, the ground begins to slope upward into a wide spiral, curling like the shell of a great cosmic nautilus. Each curve of the spiral holds a world. Planets resting quietly, their surfaces still, their atmospheres hushed. They are not barren, they are not gone, they are sleeping. This is the spiral of sleeping worlds, where entire planets drift in, silence, waiting for dawns that have not yet come, waiting for voices that have not yet stirred. Their oceans lie calm, their mountains unmoving, their skies untouched. They slumber not in death, but in patience, as though wrapped in a blanket of time. You step onto the spiral's path. The air grows thicker here, heavy with silence, shimmering faintly with the glow of dreams too vast for one mind. As you walk, the worlds lean closer, as though they feel your presence, as though they recognize you. The first planet you pass is blue, its seas vast and glassy, its clouds frozen in place. From a distance, it looks alive, yet no wave stirs, no wind breathes. The silence is so deep that even time seems paused. You rest your hand upon its glow, and you feel its dream. It dreams of tides rolling across its shores, of forests bending beneath starlight, of skies filled with wings. It is not awake yet, but it holds these visions tightly, waiting for the moment when it will rise. The silence of its sleep is not emptiness, it is preparation. And as you touch it, you realize your own rest is the same. Not loss, but gathering, not ending, but waiting for a dawn you cannot yet see. The spiral carries you upward to a planet of stone and fire, yet its flames are frozen mid-burst, their light caught in silence. Mountains rise, jagged and vast, but no ash falls, no tremor stirs. The world sleeps, cradling its own fire within. You kneel beside it, feeling its warmth pulse faintly through the silence. It dreams of eruption, of creation, of carving valleys and rivers, of building landscapes from flame. But for now, it rests, keeping its fire close, whispering to you. Even fire sleeps, even strength rests, even passion pauses. And you understand. Your own fire, your own drive, your own energy can rest too. It is not gone when it is quiet. It is gathering, preparing, dreaming. Farther along the spiral lies a planet cloaked in ice. Its surface gleams white, its seas frozen into glass, its winds hushed into stillness. It does not shiver, it does not crack. It rests, perfectly preserved, as though wrapped in a blanket of crystal. You touch its frozen glow, and within it you sense a dream of thaw, oceans spilling, rivers rushing, valleys blooming. The world sleeps beneath its frost, but it is alive in silence, alive in patience, alive in waiting. You breathe, and the planet breathes with you. You rest, and the ice hums softly, assuring you that sleep is not stagnation. Sleep is protection. Sleep is life preserved until it is ready to bloom. The spiral curves higher and higher, worlds upon worlds, each one resting, each one dreaming. Some of oceans, some of fire, some of forests, some of skies. None are wasted, none are lost. All are safe within the silence, held in the spiral's endless embrace. You pause halfway up, gazing downward, and the view takes your breath. The spiral stretches below you, planets glowing faintly, their dreams weaving together like a vast constellation. Above, it continues forever, curling upward into the stars. You realize then that you too are a sleeping world. Your silence is not empty. Your dreams are not meaningless. You are part of the spiral, resting, glowing, waiting. At last, you lie down upon the spiral's curve. The stone beneath you is soft, the silence thick, the glow of the world's falling gently across your skin. You close your eyes, and you feel yourself become part of the spiral. Your breath rising and falling with its rhythm, your silence humming with its patience, your dreams woven into its endless curve. You are not separate. You are one world among many, one silence among countless silences, one dream among infinite dreams. The spiral cradles you, carries you, remembers you, and in its stillness, you rest. Beyond the spiral of sleeping worlds, the path opens into a vast expanse where silence gathers into form. Rising before you is the cathedral of quiet light. It has no walls of stone, no roof of wood, no doors of iron. It is built of radiance, pillars of soft light, arches of glowing silence, windows of starlit glass that shimmer with galaxies. The cathedral stands endless, stretching upward into infinity, its spires dissolving into the stars themselves. It is not built by hands, nor carved by time. It is grown from stillness, shaped by silence, a sanctuary where the cosmos rests. When you step inside, the silence deepens. It is not absence, it is presence. A silence so full it feels like music, vibrating in your bones, echoing in your breath. This is the house of quiet, the heart of calm, the place where light itself kneels before eternity. Along the cathedral's floor rise pillars, wide and luminous, stretching higher than sight. They do not cast shadows. They do not blind. They simply glow, each one humming softly with the rhythm of existence. When you touch one, you feel the pulse of stars, the birth of galaxies, the hush of endless nights. It vibrates through your hand, into your chest, into your breath. You realize that these pillars are not supports. They are memories. Each one holds an era, a silence, a moment the universe has chosen to keep. You walk among them slowly. Each step brings a new hum, a new resonance, a new silence woven into light. You are not wandering. You are listening, reading the stories of eternity, not in words, but in the quiet glow of pillars that have stood since before time began. High above, windows open into the sky, vast panes of glass spun from starlight, colored by galaxies themselves. Each window is a nebula, a spiral, a cluster of light woven into stained glass silence. As you look up, the windows shift. They do not stay fixed. They bloom and fade, showing constellations, births of stars, the slow drift of worlds. The windows are alive, carrying the light of the cosmos into the cathedral, painting the floor with patterns that shift like water. You pause beneath one. Its glow falls upon you, and suddenly you are wrapped in a sea of stars. Their silence covers you, reminding you that beauty does not need sound, that light itself can be a hymn, that galaxies sing without voices. At the cathedral's center, rows of empty seats stretch outward, curving in circles like ripples on water. They are unoccupied, yet the silence is thick, as though countless souls once sat here, listening, resting, being. And then you hear it. Not sound, not music, but stillness itself, layered and vast, vibrating like a choir too deep for words. It rises from the floor, from the pillars, from the windows, from the very silence around you. The choir sings not with notes, but with calm. It says, rest. You are not alone. You are carried. You are endless. The soundless hymn fills you, not in your ears, but in your chest, until your heartbeat matches its rhythm, until your breath hums with its tone. At the far end of the cathedral stands the altar, a single flame of radiance suspended above the floor, burning without heat, glowing without smoke. It is small compared to the vastness of the cathedral, and yet it draws your gaze. This flame is not fire, it is silence condensed, stillness made visible, eternity folded into a single point of light. When you approach, it leans towards you as though it recognizes you, as though it has always known you. You kneel before it, and the flame flickers softly, wrapping you in glow. It does not speak, yet you hear its message. You are safe. You are whole. You are already home. You lie down upon the cathedral floor, the light beneath you soft as moss, the windows above pouring galaxies across your skin. The pillars hum, the choir sings, the flame glows, and silence folds itself around you. Here, comma. You are not a visitor. You are part of the cathedral. Your silence joins its silence. Your breath joins its hymn. Your rest becomes its offering. You are not separate from eternity. You are eternity, glowing quietly in the cathedral of light. As your eyes close, the cathedral does not vanish. It remains, endless, infinite, waiting. You drift, wrapped in its glow, carried by its silence, resting in its light. Beyond the cathedral, a vast chasm stretches into shadow. It is not darkness alone that fills it, but depth, an abyss that feels eternal, its silence so complete that even thought seems hushed at its edge. And across this gulf extends a bridge. The bridge of endless night is narrow, yet unshakable. It is made not of stone, nor of wood, nor of light. It is made of silence itself, woven into a path that glows faintly as though the stars themselves have stitched it into place. It stretches straight and true, vanishing into the horizon, leading you forward across eternity. You step onto it. The silence deepens, steady and calm, holding you. The bridge does not sway, does not break. Each step is certain, each step accompanied by a glow beneath your feet, a soft shimmer that lights your way without sound. On either side of the bridge lies the abyss. It is not empty. It is filled with stillness so profound it feels alive. Looking down, you see no bottom, only layers of night unfolding forever. Stars drift faintly within it, rising and falling as though carried by invisible tides. At first, you may feel small, fragile, standing above such depth, but the abyss does not threaten you. It welcomes you. Its silence is not hunger. It is peace. It stretches its arms wide, reminding you that even the deepest dark is still part of the same calm. As you walk, you realize the abyss is not beneath you alone. It is within you. Your own depths are just as endless, just as quiet, just as capable of carrying light. Suspended above the bridge are lanterns, vast orbs of glow that hang in silence, swaying faintly. They do not burn with fire, but with memory, each one holding the light of 1,000 nights. As you pass beneath them, they flicker and the path brightens. Each lantern hums softly, its glow brushing across your face, its silence settling deeper in your chest. They do not guide you in haste. They guide you in patience, marking your way across eternity with calm. You glance upward, and one lantern drifts lower, hovering near you. Inside, you glimpse a memory, not of the universe, but of yourself. A quiet moment, small and forgotten, glowing brighter than you remembered. The lantern hums, and then drifts back upward, leaving you warmed by its light. As you walk farther, shadows gather along the bridge. They do not block your path. They drift beside you, silent companions, shapes that sway with the abyss below. At first they seem still. Then you realize they are moving in rhythm, not with sound, but with silence. It is a dance, a choir of shadows, swaying together, their steps echoing the hum of the lanterns, their movement weaving into the calm of the night. They do not ask you to join. They remind you that you already are. Your footsteps are part of their rhythm. Your breath is part of their dance. The bridge itself is the song, and you are walking through its music. The bridge does not end quickly. It stretches far, farther than sight, as though eternity itself has been given form. Yet as you walk, the horizon grows closer, glowing faintly, pulling you gently onward. It is not the light of day. It is not the fire of stars. It is the glow of silence itself, gathering at the far end of the bridge, waiting to fold you into its arms. You do not hurry. You do not need to. Each step carries you closer, and each step is already enough. The journey is not a passage. It is a rest. The bridge is not a test. It is a gift. Halfway across, you pause. The abyss below breathes. The lanterns above hum. The shadows sway. The silence gathers around you. You lie down upon the bridge, its glow holding you, its calm covering you. You close your eyes, and the bridge does not vanish. It remains, endless, steady, carrying you, even as you rest. The abyss cradles you. The lanterns watch over you. The horizon glows ahead. You are safe. You are endless. You are carried. The bridge of endless night holds you as though it has always known you, as though you have always belonged. And as you drift, you realize you have never left it. You have always been walking here, always been resting here, always been part of the silence that spans eternity. And now, as our journey through silence comes to its gentle close, let yourself rest in the calm we have carried together. You do not need to hold on to the images, the stories, or the paths we've walked tonight. They were never meant to weigh you down, only to guide you softly into peace. You are safe here. You are remembered. You are part of something endless. The silence that carried stars, that shaped worlds, that built bridges across eternity. That same silence holds you now. So close your eyes fully. Breathe slowly. Let the weight of your body sink. Let your thoughts dissolve. Let your spirit drift. Sleep will come, not as a demand, but as a gift. This night is yours. This rest is yours. This peace is yours. From mind. Peace. Thank you for being here. And may your dreams carry you deeper into the calm you deserve.